Welcome back to the Workplace Safety Show. Jay Smith along with David Wesley again, and thanks for joining us. We've been taking a look here at the 2015 NFPA 70E, and if you've been tuning into some of the other episodes, we're kind of diving into some of the questions that we get, some of the changes that occur with 70E. And David, one of the things that you get a lot is some changes on training, and specifically for electrical maintenance and CPR, AED training. Who's required? I guess how are you supposed to go about getting that done? So I guess we can just kind of get into this topic a little bit today, and you can give some feedback on kind of what you've seen and what you've been telling folks out there.
Well, great. Yeah, a lot of questions I get as far as they're qualified workers or people that work around electrical equipment. Do they need to have certified type training? And the 2012 kind of specified that yes, you do need to have certified type training. The language now has changed in the 2015, and it basically states if you're responsible for medical emergencies, then yes, you do need to be trained, but that training can be done through the company, and it needs to be done annually. So that's a big change. Another one is about AED training. If your facility has AED equipment in there and your emergency action plan does require you to use it, then you need to be trained in it. But if you do not have AED equipment in your facility, then you don't have to be trained in it.
Okay, so let's maybe peel that back a little bit and get more on some of the specifics of this. So if I'm an electrician at a facility and you and I are working in pairs out troubleshooting a machine, I don't care what shift it is, maybe let's call it third shift, okay? Because that's where we see a lot of times, you know, a little bit slimmed down crew. And, you know, there's a likelihood, since we're doing hazardous work, there's a likelihood that there could be an accident or an incident that could occur. Do one of us have to be trained? If we don't have someone on staff that could respond to the emergency, is this kind of what we're talking about? You mentioned that who needs to be trained. Who is this person that needs to be trained?
Right. Excellent question, Jay. OSHA kind of defines it. If you don't have emergency responders within 3 to 4 minutes of your facility, then you need to have medical responders on site. Okay. So that kind of defines that. The 70E basically states that if you have electrical workers and you're working on the third shift, someone needs to be responsible to basically take care of the guy that gets hurt. So it does require someone in the facility and on the third shift to be responsible for medical emergencies. And if there's only electrical workers there that are working, then one of those guys has to be trained in
okay. I think that's kind of, you know, that's kind of probably where this is going with the questions that we receive is, I guess more simply put, do I have to train my electrical maintenance staff on AED and CPR? And the response would be yes, if you have no one else standing by or emergency responder available within 3 to 4 minutes.
Yes.
Is that?
And that's correct. And clarifying that helps. Another thing it's the 2015 is specified is that as far as methods of safe release, and that is basically if someone gets locked on to a piece of equipment and is basically getting shocked, how do you get that person pulled off that piece of equipment? The worst thing to do is to go ahead and grab that person and try to yank them off, because now you are being shocked. So there's really two methods that we talk about that are approved. One is to de-energize the equipment upstream, and also there's called insulated safety hooks that are used, and you can purchase those, and those are another means that's safe. But those
it's like that shepherd hook.
You bet.
Okay, yeah, I see those.
But those are only two methods that we recommend, and that is something that your employees need to be trained on annually.
Okay, so that's sometimes that's a big. That's a big undertaking for a lot of organizations. You know, if you have multiple shifts with multiple electrical maintenance folks and you do not have a standby responder, you could be talking about some serious investment here in order to get this type of training done. Whether you do it internally or just the investment of the time to do that. So what ways could an organization train their staff? Is it something you go to the Red Cross for this, or how do you train on first responder?
Well, the big picture is that it's not certified training. So as long as you're training it in accordance to an approved organization, then you're doing fine as long as you document that training. So it could be online type training or it could be classroom.
Okay, so let's clarify that then. So this isn't something that you have to be certified in.
Correct.
You just have to have documentation that you've done the training.
And the content of training.
Okay, kind of like we've talked in other episodes about qualified training. It's
Right.
document, document, document.
Correct.
That's the key here to really making sure you get this done. Okay, well that's really good. I'm glad we shed some light on that, because I know that is a concern that we've seen from a lot of organizations this year is first responder AED CPR type training, and I think there's been some confusion on what that is. So sounds like, possibly electrical maintenance staff may be trained, maybe not the entire staff, but at least someone on all shifts around the clock is available to help it respond to these type of emergencies. Yeah. So, okay, well, appreciate that, David. Well, that's about all the time we have for today. I appreciate you guys joining us, and continue to look on llewellyn.com for additional episodes, and we'll be back here real soon.
Thank you.